Good afternoon, students. Today we will see about an extra pyramidal tracts. Okay, that is also called as motor tracts. Last video we have seen about pyramidal or corticospinal tracts. Now these are the extra pyramidal tracts. So name are as follows. Number 1 is rubrospinal tract. Number 2 is medial reticulospinal tract. Number 3 lateral reticulospinal tract. Number 4 is olivospinal tract. Number 4 is vestibulospinal tract. And number 6 is tectospinal tract. If you see the basic brain anatomy, so there is a motor area. Okay, that is bluish part in the cerebral cortex, and that is area number 4. Then we have a four different kind of gyrus, that is superior frontal gyrus, precentral gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, and inferior frontal gyrus. And B6 and B8 is premotor areas. Even area 4 is also considered to be as a premotor area, or it is also called as the sensory motor, because any kind of movement is happening in the muscles. There are many times the stimuli is coming from sensory system of body. So pyramidal tract, if you see the corticospinal tracts are contents of the axon cells and body present in the motor cortex of the brain, and originate the pyramid cell from the base layer of the primary motor cortex, that is in 30%. Then premotor area and supplementary motor area is 30%, and 40% is from somatic sensory area. In this image you can see the different areas of brain for, that is primary motor cortex. Then in front of that you have a supplementary motor area. Then in front of this, parallel to that, you have a premotor cortex, and in front of that you have a dorsolateral prefrontal associative cortex, while in the posterior part you have a posterior parietal cortex, that is area number 5 and area number 7. Now if see the normal motor homunculus in the body, so as we all know that whatever the parts are there in the body, according to the function the homunculus has been described, not depend on the area which is involved. So you can see the toes, then ankle, then knee, then hip, trunk, shoulder, elbow, wrist and fingers. So area for the fingers or the wrist are more compared to the ankle and knee, even though the knee and ankle or hip are major area if you see about the areas, but the homunculus is distributed by on the name of work, on the name of different movements are possible. So there are more number of movements are possible in fingers and wrist only compared to the hip and knee. So that's why the area is more allocated for fingers, thumb and the wrist. And after that you will have a neck, brows, eyelid, nose, lips, and your tongues and larynx. Like this the complete area of the cerebral cortex has been developed for the homunculus. So can you see that is the motor cortex, and behind the beneath the motor cortex there is a internal capsules, and after that you will have a midbrain. So this is how the complete anatomy or the function of the motor area is happening. From there the pyramid is getting formed and coming to the medulla, and from medulla it is crossing over the medulla oblongata. 80% fibers are crossing over the opposite side and reaching to the spinal cord, and 20% fibers are going in the same direction, that is in the anterior part of the spinal cord, while others are going in the lateral part of the spinal cord, and from where it will be divided in a different tracks, like whatever the coming for the anterior part, it is anterior corticospinal tract, whichever is coming for the lateral part, that will be considered as the lateral spinothalamic tract. That already we have seen detail about the same. So this is the basic structure of medulla oblongata, the anterior surface of medulla oblongata, and in between beneath that you have a bones, and below that there is a pyramids. Then the things are passing through this, that is called pyramidal tracks. Now here we can see the things are coming from the thalamus, is reaching to the different areas, that is caudate nucleus, then front area number 8, then the different motor areas like including area number 3 to 1 and area number 4 as well. And this is the corticonuclear tract or corticospinal tract, or we also call as the pyramidal tract. From there it is relaying from the thalamus and reaching to a different area of precentral gyrus. So that was about a corticospinal tract. This is how we can see the different cranial nerves are getting originated from the different areas of the brain, and which are responsible for different action as well. So first one in the extrapyramidal tract, that will be the rubrospinal tract. So it originates from the red nucleus and located in the mesencephalon, and which is terminating in the lateral column of spinal cord. And the function of this is motor functions of all skeletal muscles of the limbs, hands and feet. Already I mentioned that all kind of extrapyramidal tract are also called as the motor tract, because overall all motor function will be controlled by these 6 tracts. So we will see that from how it is going up from the different part.